Welcome to Cowork Radio here on KZSB 1290 AM. I'm Catherine Raymock.
And I'm Jane Walker-Wood.
And we're a show all about the modern entrepreneur. Each week we interview two company founders. We want to begin by thanking our sponsor, Impact Hub. And right now there is a very special promotion. If you mention Cowork Radio, you will receive 10% off for 6 months. Great deal.
Rodney Loehr is here with us today. Rodney is the founder of Aquaviable, and he literally makes the purest water out of air.
And also Mark Gustafson. He's one of the founders of StoryBikes, and he's also going to be here. Interesting, he's also a firefighter. We'll talk to him a little bit about that. First, though, news that every modern entrepreneur should know.
Millennials are leaving their desk jobs and their urban life to become farmers. These ex-city dwellers are capitalizing on the booming consumer demand for local and sustainable food. And according to a U.S. Department of Agriculture survey, almost 70% of young farmers surveyed have a college degree.
Isn't that amazing? It's sort of like everything cycles around.
Well, it's a real industry disruptor. And I didn't know this, but Kimball Musk, who is Elon Musk's brother, he's long been involved in the healthy food movement. He's now started a company called Square Roots, which is a farming incubator, and it's made out of shipping containers right in New York City, and everything is grown soil-free, GMO-free, vertically under LED lights. He doesn't even need sun. And in the 10 containers, each one grows 50,000 lettuce heads per year.
That's amazing. You know, speaking of health food, I don't know anybody under the age of 25 that's not a vegan these days. I don't know about you. All right, so the fires are burning in Southern California. What is that doing to television and movie production? Just so you know, there's some television shows. HBO's Westworld has been halted because of the fire, another sci-fi drama, as well as the LA Rams, which are doing so well this season. They are not practicing this week because of the fires in Southern California.
Well, I heard it's all the way into Bel Air and Brentwood now.
It is.
But here in Santa Barbara, we're still pretty good, fingers crossed.
Yeah, one of the entrepreneurs we have in is also a firefighter, so we may talk to him about that. Of course, it is the season, and make sure you don't overspend this season. Interesting, the average person will take 4 months of credit card users to pay off their stress-induced holiday bills.
Oh, that's not a good idea, and that's not what Christmas is about.
No.
Anyway, companies are getting more and more political. If on Monday you happen to go to Patagonia's website, well, they went black, and instead there was a pop-up that said, "The president stole your land." And interestingly enough, Catherine's looking at me shocked.
Yeah, I am.
The CEO and founder of Patagonia is actually now suing the administration, and REI has also come out in support. And the reason I bring it up, because I know they've been covering it today, is it's interesting how many businesses are taking a political side. One of the first was Kenneth Frazier, and he's the CEO of Merck. And I don't know if you remember, but he pulled out of the president's panel when Trump didn't go far enough about the white supremacists. And you wonder, is this affecting their business? Now, with Patagonia, it's a private company, so I guess it doesn't matter. But Merck is a public company, and Frazier has just been named the Executive of the Year. The stock is way up, and they've increased the dividend.
So
that's for him.
That's your answer. It does affect them, and positively. All right, Mark Zuckerberg, I don't know if you heard about this, of course, Facebook CEO. He is taking his own parental leave to spend time with his daughters. He said on Facebook that people are going to be hearing less from him. By the way, Facebook offers 4 months of paid paternal leave for both mothers and fathers. Not as much as some tech companies, but more than your average company. And Zuckerberg, for his part, says pretty sure the office is still going to be standing when he gets back.
Well, I think that's great he does that. Every other Western country offers more maternal and paternal leave for the children. I'm from Canada. I think it's 6 months you get.
That's really 6 months?
Yeah, my sister just had her second
I'm surprised
baby.
you didn't have a child just for that.
Why couldn't you just have one you couldn't have one every 6 months, but Anyway, the world's toughest law aimed at reducing plastic pollution is in Kenya. It is now a $40,000 fine if you are producing, selling, or even using a single-use plastic bag. And according to the United Nations, by 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish.
Okay, $40,000 fine. In Kenya, I don't even know how that would translate.
Yeah, well, Kenya does have a corrupt government, so it could also be part of that. But I still thought it was interesting that almost every country in the world now does have laws and fines against single-use plastic bags. It's such a problem for the fish.
All right. If you are a fan of Star Wars, listen up, because Star Wars Hotel is coming to Walt Disney World in Orlando. Of course, the new movie coming out, I believe, on the 14th. Jane is looking at me like she's never seen a Star Wars movie.
I've not. Do you have to dress for dinner?
So. Well, yeah, guests will be able to dress in Star Wars costumes, and all the accommodations make guests feel like they're on a spaceship. Well, of course.
That's interesting. I had a friend who was in one of the Star Trek movies, and he once got invited to a convention which was nude. So I guess you just decorated your head up. Richard's looking at me like, what on earth are you talking about? It was a nude Star Trek convention? Or do you want to know where it was?
You should have actually probably said your neck up.
Well, there's body paint. Body paint.
Yeah, no, I got it. Oh, by the way, back to the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando with the Star Wars theme hotel. Little pricey. Hotel costs about $1,000 per guest per night. No word on whether rooms come with lightsabers or not, but I think that could be a good idea.
I wonder if you at least get some costume. You must get something for $1,000 a night.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, another company that's kind of come out against the administration is Tiffany's has put an ad out supporting the Paris Accord, which our president says we're dumping that deal. So that's another example.
Well, I saw an article, and I know you brought this up before, and I don't know if you are using it now, on Amazon Key. It was just in Time magazine. More and more people are signing up for Amazon Key. In case you don't know, Amazon thinks the solution to packages disappearing on people's front porch is to actually have access to their house, and then their drivers and deliverers open their home and put it inside the house.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that a little while ago. And have you seen the Amazon push button where you just push to get more Tide? Or
No. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Very odd.
What is next? Oh, I know what's next for us, actually. We do need to take a very short break right now here on Co-Work Radio, and afterwards, UCSB professor, prolific business author John Greathouse is going to be here to answer social media questions. You are listening to Co-Work Radio here on KZSB 1290 AM. You can follow us on social media. Make sure you check out our website, too, at coworkradio.com. And once again, thanks to Impact Hub Santa Barbara. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dan Farrick, Managing Director of the Impact Hub Santa Barbara. Come visit us and find out why co-working spaces are booming. Our 2 locations in the Funk Zone and downtown Santa Barbara offer private offices, permanent desks, and a variety of co-working memberships starting as low as $60 a month. Mention Co-Work Radio when you book our tour, and we'll give you 10% off your first 6 months of membership. Join a community where you can live and work smart. Go to impacthubsb.com or call 284-0078 to find out more.
For over 35 years, Lucas and Llewellyn's estate-grown, sustainable vineyards have grown the grapes that produce some of the finest wines in Santa Barbara County. Enjoy the remarkable wines of Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Cabernet, Malbec, and Viognier. The Lucas and Llewellyn Wine Club offers generous discounts to members, as well as fabulous wine country events. Experience the bounty of Santa Barbara County's wine region and become part of the Lucas and Llewellyn family. Visit our beautiful tasting room, located at 1645 Copenhagen Drive in Solvang, California. Visit us on the web at llwine.com.
I'm Pedro Pizarro, President and CEO of Edison International. Due to current conditions, many of our customers are without power. We want to assure you that our crews are working to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. For outage updates, please visit sce.com.
An open line of communication between parents and teachers is vital to student success. This is Eric Hines, President of the California Teachers Association. Every child is unique, and each one learns differently. Share details about your students' needs with their education team and keep them informed about pertinent life events. When parents and teachers communicate, students in California succeed.
A message from the California Teachers Association.
Welcome to Co-Work Radio. I'm Jane Walker-Wood.
And I'm Catherine Raymock.
And we are here with venture capitalist, UCSB professor, and prolific business author, John Greathouse. And make sure you send your questions to askjohn@coworkradio.com.
Hey, John, how are you this week?
Doing great.
We have a question from Nick, and he wants to know, how do you get in the front door? I mean, there's so many secretaries and and lawyers. So how do you get to talk to that entrepreneur or that mentor or that investor?
So it's a good question because it's very apropos in today's world, because right now you can get to anybody. You literally can get to anybody, at least theoretically, and oftentimes and you really can. And it's because we have so many forums or direct message on Twitter. I mean, can you imagine trying to direct message, Joe Biden, who was here recently? I mean, these people actually do look at their Twitter feeds. And if they don't, they have maybe one person below them that does. That would have been absolutely impossible a decade ago. Facebook messaging, there's all kinds of different ways that we can reach out. But you have to reach out with something compelling. Again, there are some filters still in place. You can't. You got to really be thoughtful about how you do it. I always like the story that goes way back to the 30s with here in Santa Barbara with the creator of Mission Lennon, the way he got a jump on the competition. So it was just a classic. We talked about hacks a week or two ago. It was a classic entrepreneurial hack where he was a young person that was trying to create a laundry business, and everyone else would stand on the docks when the big ships would come in with all their dirty laundry. And he was like, why are we all standing here so that we can fight with each other when this ship pulls up? He jumps in a boat, rows out to the ship, and yells up to the captain, cuts a deal, and just slowly rows back. And by the time the ship got to shore, that deal was done.
I love that. And look, they're still in business.
They are still in business.
Did the guys at the dock then beat him up?
Did
they end up getting a job with him?
I never researched that. He must have been very large, very strong, very intimidating.
That is such a great story.
Yeah, it really is.
I love that story.
Now, nowadays, that would be very difficult because people are so worried about security. Certainly, you couldn't go out to a boat. So if that were happening today, how could that guy get past the competition?
Well, I think,
ship captain?
I think you mentioned it about not going in the front door. I think you have to be mindful of front doors are there for a reason, and they're always guarded. So if there's a gatekeeper, often physically, if not physically, electronically in front of that front door to keep people out. Their job isn't to let people in. Their job is to keep people out. So how can you go in the side door, the back door, or an alternative? It's the same thing about sending your resume to HR. That's the best way to not get a job because that's what everybody does. So if everyone's zigging, you should be zagging. Try to figure out a way that you can do that will make you stand out, make you be memorable. Obviously, you want to be polite and you're not looking to irritate anyone. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's say you wanted to meet an important person or somebody that could be important in your life who's busy and it's hard to get their attention. You might want to try and find somebody that's a bit easier to reach but might be an influencer. So it might be someone that they already work with. It could be a partner of theirs. It could be a customer of theirs. Establish rapport. Deliver value. That's key. Like give before you get. Like figure out a way that you can deliver value to this other person. Establish a rapport. And then at the right time, if the chemistry's right, and then that person can help me meet her.
You've got to be willing to risk too. I actually have a friend who years ago in the radio business, instead of sending in a traditional resume, sent in a shoe in a box and said, just trying to get my foot in the door.
Foot in the door, right.
But I was...
Hopefully it didn't smell.
Exactly.
Well, you have to be okay with rejection,
It worked
too,
in that,
think.
too.
Yeah.
Jane and I were talking about something that hasn't reached saturation point. I wondered what your thought was on this, because as you're talking, I'm thinking that side door, that back door, well, soon they become the front door, right?
Yeah.
It changes.
Right.
But right now, I know that there has been a big rise in business texting. So there's business texting companies. So I'm getting a text, and my emails may have 5,000 of them. I don't look at my emails anymore.
Exactly.
Just people don't.
Yep.
But I would look at my text. And
Right.
so a lot of businesses are trying that. And for some, it's working. It's more personal. Some people might think it's a little too
spammy.
intrusive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to a business to consumer, I think you have to be careful. But I think going back to your because it could feel spammy. You're going to your foot in the door. I love that, because let's say that person has a certain personality. Obviously, they had a sort of a fun, willing to be rejected. That's fine. I can live with the personality. So if somebody gets that shoe and is somehow offended or put off by it, you don't want to work there. Like, that's a great screen for you.